Yo. What's going on, y'all? Hope y'all doing well. Staying hydrated on this lovely Tuesday afternoon, morning, even night, whatever time it is for y'all. It's currently 8:30 p.m. for your boy. It's podcast time, y'all. It's time. It's that day of the week. That time. Also that time of the month where we are bringing our real or fake stories back. 30 in a row. So, about to get into it. Hope y'all excited. I am. Danny always comes up with some fire ass. She always comes up with some fire ass stories. Okay, hold on. I need to switch this over. So, here. That one. Okay. Hello.
Yo, hello.
Hello.
How did I already check these up? Hold on, sorry guys.
I don't know. Oops. Yeah, let's do that actually too. That's a good idea. Okay. Do that. Then I do that, right? Okay. Do these. Just setting my camera up. Give me a second. off this one. All right. We're here. We've made it to another week.
We have.
Oh my gosh, y'all, look, she's got her glasses on again. Wow.
Leave me alone.
This is a rare time, guys. A rare time. Why are you acting like you just wear your glasses all the time? When have y'all actually seen her wear her glasses?
Leave me alone. Or I'll beat you up.
Just being for realsies. Just being for
I'm being for realsies
realsies.
when I say I'm gonna beat you up. You don't. How about that? How about that?
God, she's mad because I'm telling her the truth. It's crazy. Oh, babe, I was gonna tell you. Do you know that you can left alt and hide the rest of that stuff around my camera? Like on OBS? Yeah, hold on. Let me come and do it for you. Hold on. I'm gonna show you.
Heck?
So, where's your... Alt? Oh, you gotta click.
Drag it up? That? Now they're just mad laundry.
What?
You know, like there's no laundry now.
Yeah, that's a cool thing that somebody had taught me a while back. Oh no, it's doing that thing where it's showing me on the corner again. Oh, how to fix that? Hold on. Oh yeah, I forgot. Wait. Did I do that? Does it still? Okay, cool. It does still show there. Good to know. Let me do something really quickly. Game overlay. I don't need that. So if I do that right, and should I do that? Okay, cool. We're good. All right. Well, babe, this is your month, so I'm just gonna let you lead it all this month, okay?
Guys, of course he wants me to do all the work.
That's crazy. Like I don't be leading it. Come on now. Why you doing me like that? That's actually crazy.
Anyway, hi guys, how are you? If you didn't know that this is D&D Spilling the Tea with your host D and D. Hi. If you have not been with us before, and in fact, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna light an incense to like
Set the mood. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna light spiced honey today because it just gives a spiced honey type of day. So I'm really excited. I'm actually gonna go see her this weekend, so I'm gonna get more smokers and stuff. And I actually think I might give some for your mom for her house.
Nice.
So I'll be in a little. Get her. I'm dropping everything. Lord have mercy.
She's dropping everything. When I say everything, I mean everything.
Alright. So guys, let me turn this down. definitely giving spooky vibes now, isn't it? Okay. Um, so if you don't know or you haven't been with us the last 2 years, especially will be our third year, I believe.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
On D&D Spilling the Tea, I like to do a special segment called Real or Fake. And what I do is I usually have a story or maybe a couple of stories that I come on and I share with you all, and then at the end of them, we decide whether they are real or fake stories. Okay? And I have a couple to share today. Um, and so I'm hoping.
Wait, you
Um,
say you have a couple?
yeah, I have a couple. They're like short.
Oh,
They're like short stories.
okay. Getting a double
So.
feature. Let's go.
um, I am going to um, hold on. Let's trying to get the one. Um, looking for the one that I'm. For one specific that I saw.
Ooh, look at the smoke coming up on the side of it. Ooh, so spooky, so mischievous.
So I was like, I think this like says. Um. All right, here we go. So here's the first story of the night. Are we ready? Okay.
We're ready.
About 4 years ago, I was ending my freshman year at college. I have lived in the dorms with a kick-ass roommate and pretty much had a great experience altogether. Towards the end of my last semester, something seemed different in my hall of the dorms. We were all still our lively selves, but just walking into the dorms would give you this massive feeling of dread. We all wrote it off as the stress of finals approaching, but it just felt off. Well, one night after studying, I decided to hit the shower so I can just wake up and make my way to class in hours. Before I keep going, I should go ahead and set the layout of our hall and the bathroom. Our hall was one of many halls on a single floor. Each hall had 4 rooms that accommodated 2 people each, or a single room for the RAs. And if you don't know what an
Is
RA is,
this
residential assistant.
this is a college campus, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
The entrance to the halls were massive steel doors with a small window located at one end, and across from it was a bathroom. It seriously felt like a prison block rather than living quarters for college students. As for the bathroom itself, when you walked in, you were immediately met with 2 sets of sinks, 2 sinks on each side, on your left and right, with massive mirrors facing each other and creating that infinite loop of mirrors. And I've heard before that the infinite loop of mirrors is like a portal. Anyway, besides the point.
Mm.
Um, then past that, you had your 2 urinals and a toilet stall on your left and 2 showers on your right. When facing the left set of sinks, you can clearly see into the showers from the mirror if the door is open, and in the right set of sinks, you can see the reflection of the shower. The door of the bathroom was identical to the entrance to the hall, a massive steel frame with a small window that didn't allow for much of a view, with good reason. The door was propped open with a giant wooden wedge that couldn't be moved unless you were really trying to close that door. So back to the story. I'm all in the bathroom gearing up to go shower. I throw my change of clothes on the right side of the sink so that way I can reach out around the stall and grab them. Once I set myself down, I happen to look up into the mirror and I can see in the distance something almost shimmering inside the shower stall. As I look at it, I notice that it slowly gets closer, like it's jumping from furthermost layer to the next layer closer. I'm kind of unsettled, but I don't think much of it other than me coming down off a massive Red Bull, Adderall, and caffeine kick. That's a lot of things together. But it
Yeah,
starts
what
transitioning
the
faster. As it gets closer, I can start making out details, but nothing vivid or striking. It's just a dark mass that looks like it's covered in hair. At this point, I'm freaking out hardcore since this thing is getting closer in the mirror, and I'm pretty much frozen to this one spot. As it gets to the fourth layer, I get the I get the closest look at this thing I'll ever get, and I regret every minute of it. It wasn't hair, but some kind of long, flowing veil. You could see through it partially, but from the torso down, it was just solid black. And the face, I can't describe it. It was clearly human, but at the same time, it was so far removed. There were eyes, they were black, but definitely glowing somehow. I only saw this for maybe a second at the most, but it burned into my mind forever. Then the lights cut out, and I hear the door slam. It's pitch black in the bathroom, so I can't see this thing anymore. I go to the open door, but it won't budge, and then this intense smell of blood hits me out of nowhere, and that's all I remember. I woke up later in the hospital. From what the RA claims, he was on his way to go use the bathroom sometime after this happened, where he found me in the shower stall with my shirt covered in blood from a massive nosebleed. He tried asking me what happened, and according to him, all I could respond with was, "It saw me," and I started freaking out. So he calls the ambulance, and they get me to the hospital. All the while, I'm apparently freaking out, so they sedate me to get me to calm down. I'm coming to around time. It's coming to around time for parents to show up. Worried sick, of course, I asked them what happened, and according to the doctors, they believe I had a seizure. However, they ran CAT scans soon after I was cooperative enough to do so and found no signs of seizures occurring. Not to mention, epilepsy doesn't run in my family at all. And having taken Adderall countless times in the past, and since then, I have never had a similar side effect, neither hallucinations or potential seizures. To this day, I still can't bring myself to look in a mirror more than a minute, and just being stuck in a room with one for an extended period will just cause me to break down. I've been to therapy going on 3 years because of this, and I've talked to countless religious leaders who besides giving me the general, well, you should turn to God in times like these talks, don't recognize that kind of pattern as anything demonic or evil. And the strangest thing is that before that incident, there were no actual claims of activity in those dorms. And since I left, there hasn't been any either. It was just that one isolated incident.
That the end of the story?
Huh?
Is that the end of the story?
That's the end of that story.
Wow. The heck is going on with my...
Huh?
I'm having technical difficulties with my camera right now. The heck? Why is it showing it like that? The heck is going on? For some reason it cut off my camera. Is like halfway now. What the heck? That is so weird. Good. Do this again. Excuse me. Okay. Wow. All right. That was something.
Yeah. It was.
Hold on. I'm gonna do a poll for just like a minute. I was about to say, is it gonna let me do it? Is the first story real or fake? Fake. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna put a poll for 1 minute. Anybody out there? Poll starting. 1 minute poll. Story that Danny just said. At a college campus. Student gets spooked by, and this was the one that had the layer of mirrors, right?
Yep.
And you said something came out, or no, something showed up. Just it kept coming through the layers, and it showed up at her, and then she kind of just freaked out, pretty much.
Him, yeah.
Okay.
He like passed out or whatever, and then he like freaked out and he didn't have any recollection of it, and then the RA found him, and called the ambulance. Add us a date.
Dang. Okay. And the only incident, this is the only incident that happened at the school. No other incidents happened. Man, I feel like these stories are more of like a toss up of if you just either you think it's real or you think it's fake. Because I feel like a lot of these stories are just, they're stories that you can tell as a real life perspective of it. And then there's also like the perspective of like, wow, this is, this sounds like it's something in a movie, Like this is something in a movie that wasn't true. So Danny's really good with these stories, y'all. If y'all haven't realized that, if y'all weren't here last week, if y'all weren't here for the 2 years before when she tells the stories, like I feel like even in the past I kind of maybe was able to tell a little better. But I don't know, man. It's like you stepping it up this year. I don't know. it's like the creative juices were like really flowing, like they were speaking to you, like, and you're like really she's really good at this though. She really is, because what she said, you take the story and you kind of rewrite it into your own words, right? A little bit.
Most of the time I do. Sometimes I don't. If I read the story and I like the way it's already written, then I will just read it as is. But normally, or like somebody will like narrate the story, like there'll be a video or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so if it's a video, obviously I can't play the video, like, so I like transcribe the video,
Right.
and I might embellish certain parts, or like make certain like speak certain parts differently, like if I were telling this story.
Right.
So yeah.
Man, okay.
Yep.
I'm trying to determine which one I want to say. Is it real or is it fake? Oh, the fact that it was only like, more of an isolated incident. It was only one person and it never happened again. It sways me to believe it's a fake story. Am I gonna be wrong 2 weeks in a row though? Is that gonna be my final answer? Uh, I'm gonna go real. I'm gonna say it's real. I'm gonna say it's a real story. Drum roll.
You got it correct. It is a real story.
Hey, I was right this week. Let's go. Because you know what? It kind of made me think of like maybe it was like an entity that followed just that person from something, Because you know how some spirits attach to people. Like, what's that one movie? It's that one movie where the guy is like a photographer and his girlfriend. Hold on, because you looking like, what the heck? Hold on. Give me a second. Let me 1 second. Let me look it up real quick. Thriller / horror movie with a guy who's a photographer. Because it's this Shutter. Have you ever seen Shutter, babe?
No.
Okay. So, and it was an American remake. Because it came out in 2004 in Thai originally, Thailand. And then in 2008, they made an American remake of it. So what it is, Shutter is a movie about this guy who's a photographer. He has a girlfriend, and he has friends and all of this that kind of, they know some like really bad shit that he did in the past. He doesn't like to talk about it. His girlfriend doesn't know initially. But the moral, or like the TLDR of the story is, he had a girlfriend in the past, and he had some friends. I don't know, I don't know what kind of friends these were, because I mean this is really messed up to do with your friends and that's your girlfriend, but I believe they essayed her, and he was taking pictures. and I think in the end of it, she ended up sewer sliding. So, yeah, and pretty much that entity of his ex girlfriend seeks revenge on his friends. Like, but I guess she still like loves him or whatever. So she's always attached to him. And I remember he at the end of the movie, he took a picture of himself and she was literally on his shoulders, like with his arms around his head and stuff, just sitting on his shoulders. And he always wondered why he like felt like this weight on his shoulders. So that's honestly what swayed me to think that this was maybe a real story, because I was like, maybe it's like an entity or something, like some kind of spirit that's attached to only him, you know. So yeah, that's a good movie too. And really messed up, obviously, what happened to that.
Yeah.
But it's a
Yeah.
good, it's a very good movie though.
Okay, I have another story.
Okay, okay. Wait,
Okay, ready?
you're not gonna
What?
go into like the whole hit the actual factual of the people like you did the last time?
Um, I will after I go to this next story.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So we have two more stories. This one, here's another
Oh,
one. Okay.
okay. Triple feature.
This is the late 80s, early 90s. I was around 6 or 7 years old. I'm at home with my sister, who is 14/15 at the time. We grew up in a small Texas town. Everyone knows everybody. We are home alone this particular night, and my folks let my sister babysit me frequently. We always got along due to our age gap. Anyway, it is about 8 p.m. in the winter. Deserts get pretty damn cold. So it's dark, and we are in the common room since that is where the TV was. Watching 60 Minutes or 48 Hours or hard copy, some shit like that. Um, those 1 hour news pieces on CBS that chronicle large crimes in depth, trafficking, murders, that kind of thing. This one was a typical story. Guy next door that was quiet went on a rampage in his next door neighbor's house, mutilating them, kidnapping their young daughter. Well, the thing about our house common room is the door leading to the backyard was a large glass door on a wall of floor floor to ceiling windows. Nothing but blackness beyond it unless you have the black light on, which we did not. The front door is on the other side of the room with a small entryway. This is a solid door, so you cannot see what is beyond it, with a glass storm door on the outside of it. About 45 minutes into the show, they are talking about the ongoing manhunt for this crazy guy, and bam, bam, bam. The front door bangs like crazy. We jump the fuck up and scream like banshees. Dead silence now. The only light on in the house are the kitchen down the hall from the common room we were in and the light from the TV. We start thinking something on the porch. Something is on the porch. We had some planters and a rocking chair out there had simply blown against the door. This was West Texas. Sometimes there's crazy strong winds out there. Well, a minute or two of silence and us holding each other, post adrenaline overdose passes. Just when we are about to declare everything is safe, we hear the storm door on the outside of our front door close. Fuck. Someone had to have opened that door to be able to bang on the front door like that. Shit, shit, shit. We are both frozen in the middle of the room, on the floor, where we have been watching TV. My sister crawls over to the TV and turns it off. It was an old TV, so you had to turn that metal dial to switch it off, which it does with a mildly loud thunk. Now it's just us in a room dimly lit by the kitchen light down the hall. I do not remember how much time passed with me frozen and my sister still crouched by the now off TV. But we kept making eye contact, then looking at the front door. I remember this part vividly. I was on my knees, sitting on my feet, and I turn around to look at the back wall of windows and the glass door. We hear and I see the back door knob turn. It was locked on the knob, but not the deadbolt. It rattles slightly as if someone is gently trying the handle. Neither of us make a sound, just held breath. Then bam, 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 loud as all hell. Someone is trying to force the door open, just jerking it back and forth. The whole wall of windows is vibrating violently, and I can see with each jerk of the door how my slight reflection gets fuzzy, then clear, then fuzzy. My sister flips her shit, screaming bloody murder. I am still frozen on the floor. She gets up and basically drags me into her bedroom, slams the door, throws her mattress and anything she can find in front of her door. Thankfully, she had remembered the phone, one of those ungodly, heavy beige plastic, long metal antenna portable phones. We still had to direct dial the sheriff there, and in her panic, she didn't remember the number. She just hit redial on the phone. It was one of her friends, and she tells them in broken gasps that someone is trying to get into our house and that they need to get there right the fuck now. The profanity sticks out here more than anything else to me. Who knows? Young brain. I am curled up on the floor and cannot stop shaking. We don't hear anything else until we see the headlights of my sister's friend and her parents driving up to the house. We never did find out who was at the door or why. There were no signs of anything happening but a couple of scuff marks on the bottom of the black door that we could not remember if they were there beforehand or not. Nothing like this has happened to me or her since, but for damn sure we never forgot to lock a door after that.
The end.
The end.
Everyone lives happily ever after.
Huh?
Everyone lives happily ever after.
Well, something like that.
Heard. Oh, okay. It's another kind of like one of them common ones, man. Shit. All right, we're gonna do another poll, guys. Let me give y'all 2 minutes this time. 2 minutes, just in case. All right. Poll. Fake. Okay, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah, this one kind of sounds like. Oh man, yeah. This kind of sounds like one of them common spooky, scary movie. It's like kind of giving. It's giving like what's Scream kind of vibes in a way, but not to the sense of obviously where you're calling, doing you like scary movies or what's your favorite scary movie, hmm. This one just left in a lot of suspense. This one was a very suspenseful story. Because nothing too crazy happened. Because he never got in the house. Just banging on a door a lot.
Say it again?
I said that they never got in the house, right?
Nope.
And what did they say? They never forgot to lock a door again?
Yep.
Because I'm assuming they left the screen door unlocked or something? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
They left the screen.
What we thinking, y'all? What we thinking? That one was. Yeah, I feel like this one is. I'm leaning more towards fake for this one, but it's also got that. I mean, it's got very relatable, realism type of vibes to me. Poll's almost up, y'all. Get your votes in. Okay. What am I gonna say?
I thought you said it was fake. Are you still debating?
It's fake.
Ready?
Yep.
Real.
That's great. I mean,
Is it
I can.
crazy?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. Let me find out all of them are just gonna be real stories.
That's funny.
I feel like it's just a coin toss. You can't really tell if it's gonna be a real or fake story. I don't know. Because I
Yeah.
mean, that could have been real, that could have been fake. I don't know.
Okay, you
Oh,
ready?
on to the last one. How you guys doing out there? Y'all 2 for 2, or y'all 1 for 1, or are y'all 0 and 2? What y'all at right now, huh? Which one? Be honest. All right, third story. Let's go.
All right. Here is a terrifying story of something I experienced when I was 12. I moved to my dad's when I was 10. It's also a shorter story. And didn't know anyone in the area except for the family my dad was friends with. A single mom with 3 kids. Luckily, there was a girl a couple years older than me, 12 at the time. I met her, and we got to know each other a little over a couple of years. We weren't super close, but ended up having the same friends. One night, my friend Rob was hanging out with her and her younger brother. They happened to be in the house alone because my friend's mom was at work, which is where this gets terrifying and sad. Her mother had been helping this one lady through her work and got to know her fairly well. She found out her sister was in a mental institution and was let out recently. The night Rob is hanging out with my friend, they get a knock on the door. My friend thought it was just their mom. She knocks a certain way when coming in and answered it without thinking. Rob wasn't supposed to be there, and he took off through the window to his house down the road. He never thought twice about it. But it wasn't her mom. It was the sister of the lady her mom was helping, the one who had just been let out of a mental institution. Um, she had figured out through talking to her sister where the family lived and her mom's working schedule. She came in, and this is where I don't know much of the details. And honestly, I'm glad I don't. My friend's younger brother got away to the neighbors to call the police, but the lady brutally murdered my friend a week before Christmas. Decapitated her and left her body naked in a bathtub. Hit her head, and they had to look through the presents to find it. And I don't know where they found it eventually, but they did. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to go to, but they ended up burying her on.
Okay. All right. Last poll, guys. Last poll. Whoa, that one was crazy. Is this last real, trippy, and scary story real or fake? That's heckin' real. Heckin' heck no, brother. Okay, we're gonna do 3 minutes for this one, alright? 3 minutes for this poll. Let me know what you think. 3 minutes starting now. Is this heckin' real or heckin' heck no, brother? 3 minutes. Huh?
I said, is this heckin' real or heckin'? Just like, no.
Yeah, but I said, is this last real trippy and scary story real or fake? And then I said, that's heckin' real. Heckin' heck no, brother. I just got here, but no cap for sure. Oh?
Huh? Who
Oh?
said that?
Nilo. He
Oh,
said,
okay.
he said, or they said, I'm sorry, they said that's heckin' real. um, okay, alright, that's one vote for that's heckin' real. Wait, yeah, Nila, you missed a very trippy story. Like this story that she just told was like, whoa, like had me wide-eyed when she was, yeah, the last like 30 seconds of that, yeah, that definitely had me wide-eyed. So she was in the mental institution. She was let in. She just
She was
she just
in the
got
mental
out.
institution.
Yeah, she just
She
got
just got
out.
out of the mental institution,
When you say
and
got
her
out,
sis.
like, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm assuming released.
Okay.
I'm assuming she was released, and so she was released from this mental institution, and I guess she was either staying with her sister or her sister was taking care of her and got information out of her about her this family that's like the lady's family that was helping her, which happened to be the kid's mom,
Mm-hmm.
and found out her work schedule. Then,
It's
bam.
crazy. Sometimes some stories are so crazy you can't make it up. Yeah, Nilo, she's already told two stories tonight, and both of them are real. I'm 1 for 1 tonight. I'm 1 for 1. I got the first one right. I got the second one wrong. And now we're on this one, and I'm pretty sure it's like a minute or less on the poll, guys. If you think it's real, let us know in the Twitch chat. And if you think in heck no, brother, vote that. Um,
Heck,
that story was just so wild. It had to have some kind of, I couldn't just say a regular no or yes. I was like, nah, bro. Uh, brother, yeah. Heckin', I said, heckin' heck no, brother. Oh, man. Jeez, man. It sounds very real. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. This sounds like so real. And the fact that it was so short, though, I kind of wish we had a little bit more to go off of.
you wish you had a little bit more to go off of.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, it was just so, I don't know. I mean, obviously, if you just came out the group, you would think, see, okay, see, it's one of those situations where I feel like it's not enough info to let me know about why she just killed somebody, especially if she was released from the mental institution. Because it's like, okay, normally when they release somebody from the mental institution, it means that they're stable enough, they're well enough,
They're
they're in
clear,
their right
but
mind.
if they have psychosis and like they stop taking their medicine, or you know what I mean,
True,
like
true.
there's always like a way, you know what I mean, like they clear them because of like their how they're acting, right? But let's say they stop taking their medicine or something, or like they have like a psychotic fit, like they can't predict that, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
like
very true. Lady in a mental institution, how'd you get that info on my mother?
yo, that's crazy.
Let's, hey, look.
That's
They
crazy.
posted it on Reddit, Nilo. They posted it on Reddit, okay? There's actually a huge epidemic on releasing not stable patients because of lack of funding for the institutions. All
Mm.
right, all right, all
Okay,
right.
so I guess I should say
Uh,
if it's okay. Are you also are you have you decided?
yeah, I'm deciding real, and I'm pretty sure Nilo said real as well. Yeah, I
Okay, let's
don't
go
know.
then.
I'm gonna say real. I'm gonna say real.
This story is also real.
Wow, look at that. All of the
Um,
stories are real tonight, guys.
all the
All of the
stories
stories are
are
real
real tonight.
tonight.
So
All three
this
of them. All
story
three of them.
is this story actually takes place like I think this happened in the early 90s. That this happened. Her name was actually Adrienne. Um, M. I'm gonna jack how this up. Amicans, Adrienne Amicans. She was 14 years old. Um, it happened in Canada.
Mm,
And um, she was killed by a 40-year-old named Jean Ann, which, like I said, was the sister of a lady that her mom was helping. Um, and um, apparently she was deemed innocent. Well, I don't want to say innocent, but she was found not guilty because of insanity. So she is in a mental, or she was in a mental hospital. Um, and so I think she recently, I don't know how recent, not that recent, but like 2014, apparently she was out and about and was released back into public. Um, so no clue what old Shorty is doing now. Um, but I hope that whatever was wrong with her brain is now no longer true. But I also feel like that doesn't give the family justice. So, but I don't know how to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's always tough in those cases whenever people are like, what is it? What do they call it in court when when they
Um,
get when they're
they're
caught?
found not they're not guilty because of insanity, like
Yeah, yeah,
insanity.
yeah. Those cases are always so, because then it makes you think like it's like, is this person just acting like they are
Well,
like
my
that?
thing is like, okay, so my thing is,
Clinically insane.
yeah, clinically
Yeah,
insane. That's what I was looking
yeah,
for.
yeah,
What I find interesting is she got all this information out of her sister about the woman that was helping her, and then found out her work schedule, so she knew when to come when then she wasn't there. So my thing is like, how is that not like kind of like premeditated and plotted? You know what I mean? Even if the act itself was like spare the moment, some part of her planned for her to go over there when the mother was not there because she had the mother's work. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, I don't know. No, I don't know. I'm not a
yeah.
judge, and I wasn't there for the actual trial, but it just gives that's really odd to me
Yeah, very much
personally.
so. I feel that because yeah, it's like at that point, like, shouldn't you be able to prove as far as like give facts about that? Like, yeah, she knew when my mom wouldn't be home. She knew what
Yeah,
times to come over, when she can probably do things that she wouldn't be able to do with other people
yeah.
there.
Could
Could
charge this with involuntary manslaughter, but no, but why would her sister, knowing that she just came out of a mental hospital and probably is might not be the soundest of mind, why would she give out all that information? I also find that very like, why would you do that? Unless like this was the first like violent thing that she did.
right?
But I imagine like you don't just go like, and there is the case that I said last week, which he did just like eat a man's face at, with no
Out of
prior like
nowhere,
violent,
yeah.
you know what I mean, no prior violent tendencies, but he had like a case of psychosis. So I don't know.
Crazy times. Crazy
Um,
times.
But yeah, and then the other two stories, the reason I didn't really have like a back story about them is because what I did today was I wanted something a little different. So I went on to Reddit. Anybody who knows me knows I love a good Reddit post. And someone had a post and said, "What is your scariest true stories?" This can be paranormal, normal, unexplained, whatever. But given that we're in the month of Halloween, the Halloween mega thread isn't doing it for me. I want to be terrified. Let me have it. And so basically, they posted this like thread, and then a whole bunch of people commented real stories that happened to them in the comments. So I just pulled a couple of stories that I felt were interesting from the comments. But I
Hmm.
wanted to save the one that I did last because that one was like a certified, like I could certifiably back that up and like tell you guys the
Right.
actual story about what happened to that poor unfortunate girl and family.
Right. Speaking of, her Reddit stories. If y'all were there for some of her "Am I the Asshole" stories, yeah, she used to throw those in. Hopefully we can get back to some of those at some point. I think that's a nice little a side segment for the podcast too, the Am I the Asshole stories. But yeah, Danny does find some good Am I the Asshole stories, and some of them are just blatantly like, yeah, no, yeah, you're like, I remember a lot of them. I was like, yeah, you're definitely an asshole. You know. Ever heard of the Reddit story about Jason in hell? I haven't. Have you,
No,
babe?
I've not. I've not.
Ooh.
Hold on, I have to look it up. Okay, let's see.
She's looking. She's
Uh,
looking.
okay, in 2000, hold on, let me see. In 2016, a Reddit user by the name of Jason Hell would make his now infamous post on the popular sub relationship advice. Jason goes on to tell us that he discovered that his wife is cheating on him with a neighbor. After a tense confrontation with both his wife and the neighbor, he ultimately decides to stay with his wife for the sake of the kids. His post gained a lot of attention, drawing the Reddit users from all over, giving their 2 cents on what OP should do. Most were baffled that he decided to stay with his wife. She also made him apologize to the neighbor, which further enraged Reddit. Most of the community urged him to seek advice from a divorce lawyer, and eventually OP did exactly that. Here is a link to the video going over the case that includes the original audio of the 911 call that came the same day. Spoilers: after being presented with the divorce papers, OP's wife murdered their children while he was asleep in the basement. I think I low-key heard of something similar to this. Um,
Murdered his. Wait, she murdered her own children?
Yes, because she was mad that he was divorcing her.
Man, some people really just don't deserve to be parents, bro.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no. I just didn't know the name of the guy, but I'm pretty sure I saw this.
She killed the kids and tried to kill herself. It was on the news and everything. Oh.
Yeah.
That is wild. Like the audacity. First off, like going to apologize to the neighbor that she was cheating on, that she was
Yeah.
cheating on him with, and you wanted him to go and apologize to him,
You know?
and then because you get served divorce papers, you go and murder your own kids. Like, I just don't get some people's thought process, man. Like, it's...
Well, I it's retaliation. Like when somebody gets, like when like for instance, like when an employer gets in trouble and then they either cut the employee's hours or they like it's a retaliation. She's like, this is not because obviously he is not faced. I don't want to say he's not faced about her cheating, but he's like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna divorce you. Like, so now there's, to her, in her mind, like, this is how I imagine it, like that is the greatest get back because he doesn't care about her anymore because obviously that's obviously why he's divorcing me. But I know he
Right,
cares about the kids.
right. I'd apologize for knocking that motherfucker on the ground, and that's it.
That's crazy. Oh wow. Okay, let's see. She was sentenced to 120 years in prison.
I hope without the possibility of parole.
It doesn't say. Hold on, let me
Hmm.
see. Ah, no, it wants me to sign up for premium, bro. You guys are tripping. Not signing up.
Could probably Google search it.
Um, but she pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder.
Well, at
She
least
shot her
she.
Tyler 7 and Charlie 3 to death. Oh.
Oh man. Oh god, man.
Really called 911 said I just stabbed myself and I killed my 2 children. Days before the November, her husband told her she wanted divorce 2 days before the November 17th slangs. Okay, so that
What?
happened in November.
November
That happened
17th.
on the
What?
2016.
And what was the November 17th thing you said?
That's the day she did it.
Oh,
So he
yeah.
told her she wanted a divorce from her 2 days before November 17th, 2016. cheat. Ew.
Gotcha. You know, karma comes for everybody.
Yeah.
And
So
let's just say, you know, she's probably got somebody where she's at, you know, where she's locked up at that'll probably do something to her that happens to like pedophiles, you know?
yeah. Did you hear about the pedo that got knocked like in jail? I forgot what his name was.
I heard about somebody. I don't know who it was, and I don't remember what
It just
you know.
happened not too long, like
She
literally like this week, last week. I can't remember his
hmm
name.
I saw a
Um,
YouTube video pop up with a thumbnail. It's like this white dude with gray hair and stuff, and
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's him. That's him. He got knocked off in jail.
yep. She got that sentence
Okay.
because parole could be awarded after a certain amount of time, but the judge wanted to remove that option. The fact that
No,
she can even
definitely.
get parole is ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, you not only are you killing kids, but you're literally killing your own?
I mean, let's think about it this way. There's literally people who get less jail time for essaying people than somebody
Yeah,
who has
you're
a
right.
drug-related sentence. You know what I mean? And like drugs, I mean, people, whether it's good or not, take drugs willingly, right? If you sell them to somebody and they took them willingly, like that's on them. Like you shouldn't be selling drugs or whatever, but like that's on them.
Yeah.
Um, but like people who literally violate other people's like rights to human autonomy get less time than those who are just like selling or using drugs. So like, are we really surprised that the
Yeah,
jail
no, we're
system is
definitely
fucked
not.
in
Because
America?
you got to think about, remember that recent story I posted on my story like 2 days ago, on my Instagram story, of that, of somebody I think that knows Trump, and I think he got caught doing something with kids, and he only got 6 months. He only got sentenced to six
Oh yeah, I
months.
remember you sent that to me or something.
Yeah, it was on my IG story, yeah. And like it's like
Absolutely.
that's a perfect representation of our criminal justice system just being horrible. Cause like,
Yeah.
how do you only give somebody who, you know, is doing inappropriate things to kids 6 months in jail? Like, huh?
Yeah. I wonder what they're gonna do with those kids that did that to that little girl.
Huh? Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nilo, she told me a story about, yeah, some little kids took this little girl, and it was two boys, right? Two boys.
Two boys and a girl, I think.
Wait, that
The
was
girl was
another
the
girl. Wait, no,
yeah,
the
the
girl
girl
was the
was the
one that.
oldest.
So there was three
The girl was the
people.
oldest. Yeah. Yeah. The boys are the one
That's
that brought their
crazy.
parents, but the girl is the oldest, and she actually has it's like a history of like behavioral problems. Um, but she like helped them do it, as in, like she held the girl down, that kind.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, these little kids took another little girl, two boys, and another older girl. Took another
Yeah,
little girl.
they were like like 9, 10, and like 11 or 12 or that. And the little girl's like 5 years old,
And
and
essayed her,
they
spit on her, you said.
SA'd her, peed on her, ripped her cornrows out of her scalp, stuck debris
Was
and
this girl a person of color too?
logs. Yes. They stuck debris and logs and branches down her throat.
Let me guess, these other kids were probably white kids too.
I don't know. I actually don't know that.
Mm,
I only know that she is a black girl because they've actively been showing her picture and her mom, but
yeah.
they haven't said anything about like the offending kids. Um, they choked her out so bad that blood vessels popped in her eyes, so her eyes were red. Um, yeah, they thought they left her in a field because they thought she was dead.
Yeah, and they didn't charge the kids because they're kids, but at what point do we allow stuff like this to happen? Because me and her talked about this. Me and Danny talked about this. We were like, they should go to juvenile. They should go to a juvenile detention center. Like, like you don't want to. That's fine. You don't want to lock them in jail with a bunch of adults. I get that. Put them in juvenile detention center. And then Danny was like, yeah. And when they turn 18, then put them in a real jail. And you know what? I agree. Because at that point, you
No, it's just like it's very crazy. Like, do you know what kind of like who are they talking to or what are they watching? And from like accounts, they had no remorse. So I'm like, so they're crazy. So they're like literal like socio psychopaths. Like they need to be clink clink locked up behind underneath the jail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Agreed. Agreed. Because honestly, it's really, because it really comes to a point. It's like, at what point do we let this kind of stuff continue? Like, what are we doing to not let something like this happen again? You're not gonna lock them up, okay? Well, yeah, exactly. You're not gonna lock them up. Yeah, you're not gonna lock them up. So like, are you gonna have people monitoring them? I mean, like, what are we doing here? What kind of? Because I mean, we can't just leave this. Obviously, we can't just leave this to just the parents.
well, you know what? I'm interested because usually kids like that display these like psycho or sociopathic tendencies, they often start smaller and work their way up.
Right.
So smaller would be like mutilating animals.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like doing like just like mean, dirty, hurtful things to like other living creatures, insects. They might start with insects, then continue up to like bigger animals like dogs or cats.
Right.
So I just wonder, like, this was really their first thing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, and also, from what I heard, the aunt didn't know, or like the family member that was keeping her didn't know, but apparently throughout the neighborhood, it is said that those kids are an issue. They're a problem within the neighborhood.
Yeah. Where did this happen?
That's a good question. I can't get up.
You might want to move the mic a little closer to you, babe, because you cut in and out sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And these are all true stories that we're telling now, y'all. Just, well, even the 3 stories that we read, they were all true. But yeah, now we've kind of gone off. We've kind of went off on like the whole mental side of that last story, and we're kind of branching off to other real stories. Oh, that's Ohio, right? Cleveland, Ohio?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Think I've heard that that Ohio is a choiceful place to live, is all I'll say. I think that's one of the choiceful places to live that I've heard of.
Yeah, she was attacked. Just like crazy stuff. I want to know what, like, if you could just see her. She was such a cute little girl, and they literally pulled her hair from her head, pulled her cornrows out of her. Like, just imagine that somebody pulled your hair so hard that they pulled braids off of your scalp.
So messed up.
But she did have legal representation, and she's gonna keep fighting until.
Oh yeah, I hope so, and I hope she
And well,
gets.
now the poor girl, she now has PTSD, and she's like,
And that'll never. And
eh.
that'll never. That's gonna
She's
follow
like,
her for the rest of her life. She's like, what?
she's suicidal. Imagine being suicidal at 5 years
Yeah.
old. And it says, she screams when she wakes up. She says, "They killed me." She thought she was dead. To hear your baby say that she died, what? A 5-year-old shouldn't even know that word.
That's so. It's. It's horrible, man. It's really horrible.
And so people are also saying like you need to investigate what's going on in those houses because how do those children know to do that?
Literally, that's what I'm saying. Like, if y'all are not gonna arrest them, what are y'all doing to make sure that this isn't going to continue?
Well, they're
Because you,
saying that. Well, I guess the the insinuation is that they are also being abused in some capacity.
yeah,
Um,
and yeah, like they need to look into that household. They need to be doing constant monitoring. I, they need to. I don't. They need to do some stuff. Okay. I don't know whatever they need to do, but they need to do something to ensure the safety of. I mean, not only the girl that it happened to, but if those kids that did that to her too are going through some sort of abuse too, yeah, they need to look into that
yeah. So,
because it's wild, man. It's wild.
but that's all that I have for today. I know it's kind of
Yeah,
spooky, kind of disturbing and scary.
yeah, yeah. It was definitely spooky, and it got really real at the end. you
You
know
know,
that's
but
what
if
we do here.
anybody wants to read real stories, um, uh, here's the link. And there's lots of stories in that. So I personally like to hear people's real testament to like the real life of like what things happen to them and stuff. So for me, that's like my jam. So I enjoyed reading those like spooky stories, whether like you think they're real or not. I just think it's like really interesting to hear about people's lives. So
Hmm.
there you go.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, as you can see, we we do our real or fake stories, but we talk about a lot of different things here. So you never know what you're gonna hear from. That's why if you guys missed this, you definitely should tune in. Should definitely follow the YouTube. Because I do post. Oh, that reminds me, I was supposed to post the episode from last week today, so I'm probably just gonna do it tomorrow. I posted the last podcast we did in August, which one was when we talked about the friendships. When we talked about
So
friendships,
August was the
waves.
last
Yeah.
one I that we ever did.
Before we came back on October, yeah.
We did.
Um, hold on. Let me see. Because if we did, it would have been in my video files, and I don't think I have
Let
anymore.
me let me.
Oh no, I'm tripping. Nope, I have more.
I was like, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, actually, do I? Hold on. This might not be that. Nope, that isn't that. Oh, yeah, that's one. Okay. That's one.
We
I
did one
think.
on September 9th.
Yeah. I need to
I
move
was like,
that
what
to
are you
my.
talking about?
I, I need to move that into here because I need to upload that one in there. Um. Yeah. So yeah, we do. Yeah, I posted that one. So the one in August, that's when we talked about friendships. There's one more I gotta post, which I'll probably post that one like tomorrow, and then I'll probably post the one from last week, like in the next couple days or so. So you guys will have that one. Yeah, all this month we will be continuing the real or fake stories. So I'll stay tuned. Pretty interesting stories. Like I said, Danny is a great storyteller. She definitely knows how to. She definitely knows how to tell them. She was not expecting all three of the stories she told today to be real. And let me know. Let us know in the comments, because like I said, this one will be posted next week. I'm gonna post this one on the day of the next week's podcast, so you guys will be able to see that one. But let us know in the comments what you guys thought, whether you thought this was a real or fake story. Let me know how many of them y'all got right. I was 2 for 1, so I got 2 right, 1 wrong. So let me know how you guys did. But yeah, this concludes this week, right, babe?
What?
As it is to conclude this week, right?
Yes. Goodbye. Well, not really goodbye, because I was gonna play some more games.
That's crazy. Yes, goodbye.
But
Well,
no, seriously, thank you guys.
this is yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yes, this is your host D&D. Spilling the tea. Live podcast with your host D&D. We appreciate y'all.
D and thicker.
Yeah, thicker than a snicker. Yeah, so we appreciate y'all. Exclamation point podcast in the chat. If you guys don't know it, every Tuesday we do our podcast. 8 p.m. EST is what we shoot for. Sometimes we're a little late, but we came through. We did it. So next week, stay tuned for another real or fake episode.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated, practice your self-care, and as always, peace out and positivity, y'all. Boy, we appreciate y'all. Thanks, Neela, for participating. Appreciate you.
Yep.